last week was Parshas Noah, and we learned all about the animals on the teva. And one of the rules that we learned from Noah is that if you have a pet animal, you have to feed the animal even before you yourself eat. We've had pets in our family like Rainbow Sparkles, Eggy, Bagel, and even some other pets. And we've always Frankie, I forgot Frankie. And we've always tried to be very careful to feed our pets before we ourselves eat. Now, listen to this story about one of the great rabbis. His name was Rav Pinchas Menachem Alter, the Pnei Menachem. He was the Gerer Rebbe. He was a great Hasidic Rebbe who died about 25 years ago. He lived in Israel. Yes, you have a question? Well, Frankie we only had to feed once a day. He was a fish. But we had to make sure that we fed him that day before we ate anything that day. We didn't have to feed him before every meal because he only ate one meal per day. But we had to make sure to feed him every day before we ate. So the Pnei Menachem lived in Yerushalayim. And in Yerushalayim, he died about 25 years ago. So the story is maybe 30 years ago or 40 years ago. I don't know exactly when it happened. But the way that the hot water comes into buildings in Yerushalayim is, since it's so hot outside most of the time in Yerushalayim, the water sits in a little tank on your roof, and the sun heats it up while it's on the roof, and then it comes into your house or into your apartment. So one day, the Pnei Menachem and his family realized that the water in their house tasted kind of yucky. It smelled a little, and they knew that something was wrong. Something in the water was very dirty and smelly. So they called a plumber to come check it out. And he was looking at their water system, and he found that on their roof, what had happened is the thing that covers the water tank, there's like a plastic thing, had broken, and some birds were drinking from their water, because birds are always looking for water, and one bird fell down and died in the water tank. And that's what had made the water so yucky. There was a dead bird. So he fixed it. He cleared out the dead bird. He covered the tank so that nothing else would fall in, and he went back to their family, and he said, I figured out the problem. And they said, thank you so much. He said, your water should be clean now, don't worry about it. And they said, thank you so much. What was the problem? So he said the problem was that the cover of the water heater had broken, and birds were drinking from it, and one bird, sadly, fell down and died, and that's what was making your water taste bad. So the Pnei Menachem got nervous, and he said, hold on a second. Did you say birds were drinking from the water? And the man said, yeah, because the top had broken, so birds were drinking from the water. And the Pnei Menachem said, one of them fell through and died? And he said, yeah, one of them fell through and died. So he said, were there other birds who were still drinking from the water and enjoying the water? And he said, yeah, but now they can't drink it anymore because I covered it up. And the Pnei Menachem said, they're going to be thirsty. And the plumber said, well, they're birds. They'll find somewhere else to drink. And he said, no. If birds have been coming to my roof to drink from my water because the cover was broken, I can't cover it up now and stop the birds from drinking. And the plumber said, well, if you don't cover it up, then another bird's going to fall in and die, and your water's going to taste bad. So Pnei Menachem said, okay, I'll compromise. Thank you very much for fixing the water, and we'll keep it fixed. But we have to put a bowl of water on top of the container to make sure that any birds who want to come drink and who have gotten used to come drinking at my house will be able to come and drink the water. And the plumber couldn't believe it because he was dealing with a big rabbi. He had many followers, and we get questions all day and people asking for advice. Thousands of people who looked up to him and learned Torah from him. And guess who he was worried about? All of those people also, but even a few little birds who might be thirsty. Because he learned the lesson from Parshas Noah that we take care of everybody. Our job is to even worry about little animals, that they also have enough to eat and to drink. And just like you have to feed your pets before you yourself eat, the Pnei Menachem said, if there were birds enjoying my water, I'm going to make sure they always have water to drink. Good Shabbos, everyone.